Good morning, everybody, and a very warm welcome to third edition of Ficki's Roads and Highway Summit, accelerating the road infrastructure, New India at 75. Ladies and gentlemen, we are most delighted to have the Honorable Minister Shri Nitin Gadkari ji amongst us today. Before I invite Mr. B.V.N. Rao, Chairman Ficki Committee on Infrastructure, I would request him to please hand over the green certificate to the Honorable Minister. Ladies and gentlemen, this green certificate is Ficki's commitment to plant 10 trees on the name of Honorable Minister at Sundarban National Park in West Bengal. In keeping with the sustainability initiative at Ficki, instead of giving a bouquet of flowers to our dignitaries, Ficki presents a bouquet of trees to our Honorable Minister. Thank you. May I request Mr. B.V.N. Rao to please extend a formal welcome.
Thank you, Nirja ji. Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, friends. Nitin Gadkari ji, Honorable Minister of Road Transport and Highways, Government of India. Shailesh Pathak, Co-Chairman, Ficki Transport Infrastructure Committee. Senior officials from the government, distinguished speakers and delegates. It is my proud privilege to welcome Shri Nitin Gadkari ji to the Accelerating the Road Infrastructure, New India at 75, third edition of the Road and Highway Summit. Sir, thank you for taking out time to be with us today, and indeed we are extremely grateful to you. Ladies and gentlemen, no introduction is needed for Nitin Gadkari. He is the man of action, implementation, and resolution. This is what the third point is very important for us to sustainable. And I'm happy to report that the National Highway Authority of India has recently created Guinness World Record by successfully completing construction of 75 kilometers of continuous bituminous concrete road in a single lane in less than 5 days. It is a remarkable event, and it is in line with the target of 100 kilometers per day Mantriji has kept for himself and to all of us to achieve in that. This year, when the country is celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, it is infrastructure that will surely be recognized as a major hallmark in country's list of achievements. Infrastructure development will continue to be the key to achieve developed India by 2047 as envisaged by Prime Minister recently. The government has taken several new initiatives to support the business and accelerate the pace of construction in the industry. To name one of the major ones, Government of India has planned 26 green express highways, which are expected to be connected by 2024. I was told foundation stone for some of these projects have been laid recently, and these new expressways will reduce the travel time as well as the distance between main transport hubs, and it will help bringing down the logistic cost at least by 10%. I would also like to highlight the initiatives of Government of India to improve the commuter experience on national highways for both passengers as well as the truckers. Government is planning to remove toll plazas at highways in due course by toll collection based on the distance traveled by vehicle on a particular highway using the satellite navigation or the number plate system premeditated by new technology. This modification will not only reduce the time and cost of travel of users and also save fuel wastage of a toll plaza which we are experiencing. This will enhance India's potential in developing world-class road infrastructure and focus on the aspect like sustainability, automation in construction, investments in digitization, road safety, which is one of the important aspect always Gadkari ji brings in every session we all. And most importantly, harmony between the private and public sector. This is very important because while public investment by government will be a catalyst, but multiplication will happen with the private investment. Sir, this year at Piki we are celebrating its 97th year of existence, sir. We continue to remain committed on being a bridge between the private sector and the government and support the initiatives taken up by the government of India and developing India's vision of achieving economic, infrastructure, and an overall development from an industry perspective. I would also like to extend a warm welcome to all the eminent speakers from government, financial institutions, and public private sector. This summit will essentially focus on some of the forthcoming trends and technologies that have a vision of making India efficient in management and operation of the highways. It will bring about a world-class road infrastructure through a digitized and automated road construction industry. We aim to create an active platform for exchange of ideas, experience, and best practices among the policymakers. I am confident that there would be some thought-provoking and engaging discussions during the various sessions of the summit today. We encourage the delegates to be productive and healthy discussions. We hope to again insights, direction, and some concrete outcomes with the deliberation. And Vicky will make note of key takeaways with this, from this summit and present it to the ministry for their review. Once again, a very warm welcome to all of you. I wish the discussions at the summit turn out to be as fruitful as. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. B.V.N. Rao. Now, to set the context for today's summit and put forward industry's perspective, I invite Mr. Sailesh Pathak, Co-Chairman, FICCI Committee on Infrastructure, to take that.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is our great honor to welcome Honorable Minister Nitin Gadkari ji to the third edition of the Highways and Roads Conference. All of you know, and just now Mani Gadkari ji mentioned that how to get things done and how to resolve issues is one very, very strong point for Mr. Gadkari. And I think all of us need to give him a round of applause exactly for that. काम कैसे कराना हो और झगड़े कैसे सुलझाने हो, ये आपसे अच्छा बहुत कम लोग हैं जो कर सकते हैं. We are also very happy to be back to a physical meeting and gathering. And I remember मेरे ख्याल से पिछले साल या during the lockdown we had a similar edition of the Highways Conference, and I was supposed to give a vote of thanks. And after Gadkari ji's speech, there is, nobody can say anything. So I said, in less than 10 years from now, India's highways will be the same standard as American highways. And Manya Gadkari ji said, nahi, wo 4 saal mein main karke dunga. I remember that. Today, we do know that the highways scenario in all of our country has transformed. And what has really happened is speed and scale of implementation. बातें तो बहुत कुछ लोग कर लेते हैं, काम कैसे जल्दी हो सकता है. And the major change that under Honorable Minister's leadership has happened is पहले हम लोग 2 lane को 4 lane करते थे, 4 lane को 6 lane करते थे. Now we are making expressway, and the Delhi-Mumbai expressway will be ready in a few months from now. And I'm very fond of my story about in 1990 how I drove from Mumbai to Delhi in 3.5 days. अभी 16 घंटे में चले जाएंगे, उससे भी कम 12 घंटे में. And I'm also very happy 12 घंटे में. And what has also happened is technology in highways. So last year in June, I drove from Chennai, Madras to Delhi. And that took around 3 days. And after 1 month of reaching, I got a challan from Karanji outpost of Maharashtra saying कि आपने speed limit ज़्यादा की थी, मेरा driver चला रहा था वो पढ़ नहीं पा. So this is the kind of change that has happened already. And I have only two suggestions for the consideration of Honorable Minister. Sir, पहला ये है that in, let us say, Nasik to Mysore is 1130 kilometers. It takes around 55 kilometers per hour. 20 घंटे में आदमी पहुंच जाता है. Nagpur to Varanasi is 730 kilometers. 13 घंटे में कार से आप पहुंच जाएंगे. But the truck takes much longer. So when the road gets built, how do we move the truck faster compared to the car is more about, it's a non-engineering thing. It is more an enforcement को उसके ऊपर आपका अगर ध्यान थोड़ा सा. And one way to do it, sir, is कि अब तो फास्टैग या जो भी ग्लोबल टोलिंग सॉल्यूशंस हैं, we can actually think of ranking of state कि महाराष्ट्र में ट्रक कितने तेजी से बढ़ रहा है और adjoining आंध्रा में कितने तेजी से. So with big data analytics using FASTag, this can be done. The second request I had at least was that I had gone to Hangzhou, Shanghai for the G20, and everywhere the flyovers always had a pedestrian underpass and a cyclist underpass. So Halme, you had said that DPR should be constructed. Maybe the DPR should include not only the motorist but also the pedestrian and the. With these words, all of us are warmly waiting to listen to Honorable Minister Gadkari. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pathak.
Mr. Bhiven Rao, Chairman FICCI, Transport Infrastructure Committee, Mr. Shailesh Pathak, Co-Chairman, distinguished dignitaries, members of FICCI, colleagues from industries, and all my dear friends. It's really a pleasure for me to interact with you because sometimes I get a lot of good suggestions from your side. So very thankful to FICCI for giving me opportunity. The Indian highway network is one of the important network in the world. We are the second highest in the world. India, we have got 64 lakh kilometers of road network. The national highway length is only 1.47 lakh kilometers, that is 2.3%. And 70% of the cargo, 90% of passenger traffic. Fortunately, this is the time for the country that we need to expand our network. Our idea is to, before end of 24, we will take it to 2 lakh kilometers. Already, Finance Minister has declared in the budget about the increasing of the national highway network in the country. The flagship program, which is very important, that is Bharat Mala Pariyojana. The total NH constructed in last 8 years is 78,000 kilometers. The total capital investment of rupees 15 lakh crore for a length of 43,000 kilometers in both the phases. This is the approximately, but my estimate is it will go up to 20 lakh crore. So there is a huge opportunity for investment. In budget 22-23, our NH network will be extended by 25,000 kilometers. That was declaration from the Finance Minister. And we want to take it up to 2 lakh. So before 24, end of 24, it will be 2 lakh. Current logistic cost in the country is 14 to 16. And in the European countries and the USA, it comes to 12%. And China, somewhere it comes to 8 to 10%. And somewhere, some part of the India, it can go up to 18%. So regarding our export, our trade and business, most important challenge for the industry is that how we are going to reduce the market. That is the most important. And my target is to take it up to the 10%. It can be possible with your cooperation. because our first priority is for waterways, second priority for railway, third for road, and fourth for aviation. So when I was a shipping and port minister, we developed a lot of waterways. Varanasi to Haldia, 1,350 waterways is developed. Then from Haldia, the Bengal Sea is there. The Brahmaputra dredging is completed. Even at that time, with the request of Prime Minister of Bangladesh, we have go up to the Mungli, 250-kilometer Brahmaputra in Bangladesh, and complete the dredging. We have completed dredging in Barak River. Then already we have the seashore is available. Now 12 major port and 200 minor. Where I will request all of you that if you can plan for taking water transport, it is going to reduce the logistic cost. So we need an integrated approach. I understand that 100% water transport cannot be. So by going by a road, if the cost, for example, is 10 rupees, going by railway is 6 rupees, going by waterways is 1. So this is very important, and I will request you that the PK should plan that how we can utilize the water, how we can increase the water transport. That can be possible. We have Suzuki factory in Gurgaon, and we have other automobile brands available in Chennai. By Roro, Ropax, by special ships, we can take cars from Hyundai and other company which are available in Chennai, Kandla, and by Kandla, by railway ticket to Punjab, Haryana, and Delhi. And the same thing from Maruti Suzuki car, we can take it here, we can take it to Chennai. Ashok Leyland factory. So I feel that this can be possible. This is win-win for all the stakeholders. The other important thing is with fuel. This is one of the very, very important subject touching to my heart. मैंने तो तय कर दिया कि डीजल और पेट्रोल को खत्म ही कर दें, और ये हो जाएगा. ये कोई कठिन नहीं है, ये कठिन है पर असंभव नहीं है. Just you take the example, if you can go for LNG as a fuel for truck. If you are spending 100 rupees on diesel, cost for LNG is 40. Now one of the company in Gujarat, they have already manufactured LNG truck, and their capacity is for 1600 kilometers. With the 10 LNG pump station, they will manage whole country, and your cost of diesel will be reduced by 40%. Now we have the consumption of 4,000 crore liter of diesel for generator set. I will request the people of PK that because of my individual persuasion, now Kirloskar has given me the generator 100% on bioethanol. The ethanol cost is 60 rupees, diesel cost is 10 rupees. And we are spending 4,000 crore liter of diesel for this IT towers generator. Then we are using in construction equipment machinery, we are using diesel. Once I requested to Mr. the MD of JCB to make the JCB on CNG. I have my own tractor on bio CNG. Now we have 5 plants in Punjab and Haryana. They are making bio LNG and bio CNG from rice straw, which is popularly known as parali, the biggest problem for pollution. And 5 ton of parali is giving 1 ton of CNG or LNG. It's a successful. In the Panipat, Indian Oil has started the project where they are making 150 ton of bio-bitumen from parali per day and 1 lakh liter of bioethanol. So now in Assam, availability of methanol is there. The Assam Petroleum is making 100 ton of methanol per day. Methanol rate is 22 rupees per liter and diesel is 110 rupees. If you can convert your all truck transport and buses in Assam and Northeast methanol, will reduce the cost and pollution. Methanol is available there. Already government has started adding of 15% methanol in diesel in North. So these are the lot of things. Even now we are going for hydrogen. This is the fuel for the future. We can use sewage water, and from sewage water we will make that clean water from that. And for the solid waste management, we need segregation. The rooftop solar will be there, and only 1 crore cost you get the electrolyzer, by which we can get green hydrogen. And my idea is to take the cost of green hydrogen with $1 per kg. It will have a capacity of 450 kilometers. I have got hydrogen, beautiful, well, and this is the future. So ethanol, methanol, biodiesel, bio-LNG, bio-CNG, and electric and green hydrogen. It is import substitute, cost effective, pollution free, and you can save your logistic cost. And where now for electric car, now there is a waiting list. People are coming to me to please give your letter that we will get out of the electric car. The Indian company has increased their share in the automobile as compared with the foreign company. And now we have two-wheeler and three-wheeler available in flex engine. Flex engine means you can use 100% bioethanol in place of petrol. You know that model Camry of Toyota, that is in flex engine with hybrid electric. Actually, that model was that they have 60% petrol and they generate 40% electricity. Now the Toyota in next month going to launch all their models with 100% bioethanol and electric. By this, the rate of the petrol will come 25 to 30 rupees per. Already the Bajaj, TVS, and Hero have already manufactured flex engine scooter and motorcycle. The auto rickshaw is available. In Pune, we have 3 ethanol pumps are there, and ethanol is a green fuel. There was one problem: the caloric value of ethanol was less as compared with the petrol. So once somewhere in my noting, I get information that in Russia there is a technology available where the caloric value of ethanol is equal to petrol. Because presently 1 liter of petrol equal to 1 liter 300 ml of petrol. So I just called the scientist to India, take the presentation. And after that I called Mr. Puri, Petroleum Minister, Mr. Vaidya, Chairman of Indian Oil, and Mr. Ram Kumar from the Research Director Laboratory in charge of Faridabad, India. And they give the presentation. After the meeting, Mr. Vaidya was telling me, sir, the idea very, very fun, but we are not sure about the success. तो मैंने उनको हिंदी में कहा, ये गाजर की पूंगी है, बजाओ, नहीं बजी तो खा लो, छोड़ दो. After 3-month trial, the Indian Oil has given me the report that this is success. And now the government has accepted, by which the caloric value of petrol is equal to ethanol. The petrol rate is 120 rupees per kilometer and ethanol rate is 60 rupees. Ethanol is a fuel from the farmer, from the agriculture, which is going to boost our rural and agriculture economy. And our dream is to diversification of agriculture towards energy and power. I always telling to the farmers that अन्नदाता नहीं ऊर्जादाता बनो. Make green hydrogen, ethanol, alternative fuel. Go for that. Your tractor परली से bio CNG बनाओ, पे चलाओ. It can be possible. मैं कोई भी ऐसी बात नहीं कह रहा हूँ कि जो नहीं है, जिसको लगता है शंका वो मेरे पास आ जाए, मैं सब प्रूवन बता दूंगा. कोई हवा की बात नहीं. Everything is, and this is the time where we need cooperation from people. So first of all, by changing the fuel, you can reduce the logistic cost. Increase the one of the problem which I am facing, I am making good road. But actually our first priority is to waterways, second priority railway, third priority road, fourth to aviation. But there is some negative thing is happening. Now the traffic is coming on the road. Whether I don't know I am doing correct or not. Because now the 90% of the passenger traffic is on the road and 80% the goods traffic is on the road. The railway is reducing. This is not the good thing, but I am helpless. Actually, in the wider interest of the country, we need to use more railway, more water. But actually, by making green express highway, you can reduce the cost. The Pathak was telling you can do it. Now Delhi to Mumbai per car, it will take 12 hours. Now 3 days before I was in Mumbai for launching of double-decker electric bus, Ashok Leyland for test. So the chief minister was with me, and actually when I was minister in Mumbai, I got opportunity to construct 55 flyovers and Worli Bandra ceiling project in Mumbai Pune Express. So at that time, my dream was there to take it that express highway to connect it to Mumbai Delhi corridor, going for Surat, Ahmedabad, and so I give the proposal to chief minister that I am ready to construct a flyover connecting Worli Bandra after that Vasi Virat to Delhi Mumbai highway. The cost coming 50,000 crore. I don't have any problem. Only you give me two. You give me exemption of share of GST for government of Maharashtra in this project, and give me the all aggregate and material without royalty project, and give me some government land. I am ready to invest 50,000 crore. So by which it can be possible from Nariman Point to Delhi up to Connaught Place, it will be 12 and a half hour. You will be there. And for truck, it will take 18 to 20 hours. Presently, it takes 50 to 56 hours. So it is going to reduce the cost. When I was minister in Mumbai, there was time taken from Mumbai Pune was 9 hours. Now it is 2 hours. Some people are coming in 1.5 hours. So now we are making the road of the standard that from Delhi to Dehradun 2 hours. Up to end of this year, before December end, we will give that road. Delhi to Dehradun 2 hours, Delhi to Haridwar 2 hours, Delhi to Chandigarh 2.5 hours, Delhi to Jaipur 2.5 hours, Delhi to Amritsar 4 hours, Delhi to Katra 6 hours, Delhi to Srinagar 8 hours, and Delhi to Jaipur, Delhi to now this Meerut. First of it was 4.5 hours, now it is 40 minutes from Delhi. So already the things are moving fast. We are making Chennai to Bangalore with 2 hours. Our member NHI is here, he is making that. Within 2 hours, we will be there. So my suggestion is we are making 12 green express, say 26 green express highway access. So from Mumbai and Pune, we have a lot of problem for water, for air. But now from Delhi, from North India, from Gujarat and Rajasthan, the traffic which is going to south, Hyderabad, Chennai, Bangalore, in Kerala, everywhere now that traffic is going to Mumbai to Pune. Then there are two ways, Pune to Solapur, Pune to Kolkata. But now we are making green expressway from Surat. That's Surat to Nashik, Nashik to Ahmednagar, Ahmednagar to Solapur, and Solapur to Bijapur, and it's going up to south. Everywhere, Hyderabad, Chennai, Bangalore, you can go back. You don't need to go for Mumbai and Pune. It will reduce the air pollution in Mumbai and Pune. So actually, it is just like a heart surgery, bypass. We are making the arrangement just like bypass surgery, where the traffic density is high. We are making the green express. So 100% it is going to reduce the cost. Because of Bharatmala and Green Express Highway, our expectation that we can reduce the logistic cost by 3%. So this is very important. We have already making the highway. I don't want to elaborate it because you can see you can go anywhere in India. You can go to Kashmir, Ladakh, Leh, Northeast, Arunachal, Meghalaya, Tripura, any north side, south side, everywhere there are a lot of development in highways going on. But regarding this Delhi also, this is very important because Delhi is facing the problem of pollution. We are making greenfield corridors 27, express highways 5 numbers, and access control corridors 22 numbers. And that by which the total capital cost is the length of 10,000 kilometers. The cost is coming approximately 6 lakh. Delhi Mumbai 1,400 kilometers, it's 1 lakh crore. Ahmedabad Dholera 110 kilometers, 4,200 crores. Delhi Amritsar Katra 670 kilometers, 40,000 crore. Bangalore Chennai 262 kilometers, 17,000 crore. Kanpur Lucknow 63 kilometers, 4,100 crore. These are already in the. So this greenfield infrastructure project, very important. We have conducted route optimization exercise across major corridors and have designed newer alignments which have resulted in minimum 4-lane configuration, reduced travel distance, reduced travel time, lesser fuel consumption. Around 110 crore liters of fuel will be saved every year. Reduce CO2 emissions. Annual reduction of carbon dioxide emission by 250 crore kg. Huge saving in land acquisition cost and duty shifting process. Port connectivity with at least 4-lane highways. Everywhere for 4-lane, there will be 4-lane road. Greenfield alignment brings socio-economic development in the region. And saving in the travel time is going to reduce the cost. Now the Delhi-Mumbai Express Highway, giving just the, you can make the economic study of this project, is 1,382 kilometers. Cost is 1 lakh crore. 100% length is awarded. 70% work is completed. 90% of the work will be completed by end of this year. Trying to make it 100%. Travel time 12 hours by car. मैं 14 बोल रहा था तो थोड़ा 12.5 hours इसलिए कहा कि नरीमन पॉइंट जा रहा so by car and 20 hours by trucks. And Delhi Meerut Express Highway is already you are experiencing 40 minutes. Train Trans Haryana Ambala Kotputli corridor 313 kilometer. The cost is 12,000 crore and it is already alternative to NH44 section between Delhi to Ambala. Provides seamless connectivity from Himachal Pradesh, Chandigarh and Ambala to ports in Gujarat and Maharashtra. This road is also going to connect Manali also. For tourism also it is very important. The Trans Rajasthan, that is Amritsar, Bhatinda, Jamnagar. 917 kilometer corridor. 23,000 crore cost there. Probably maximum work is completed. Improves connectivity between industrial zones of Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan and connects them to major ports. So this is going to reduce the logistic cost is very important. Now already I have few information about the other highways. Now the most important thing is I always telling to the people that the innovation, entrepreneurship, science, technology, knowledge, and for the construction industry we need upgradation of the technology where we don't want to compromise with the quality but we want to improve the cost quality of the make more alternatives for why the steel people are so happy and increasing rate because there is less. If you can make the alternative for cement and steel, you will be happiest. So glass fiber steel we are allowing. Now that lot of technology we are taking, I am telling you about it. But before that, I am telling you about the project of Delhi. Delhi is the capital, but unfortunately, we are facing crucial problems related to the air. We are making roads of 53,000 crores to decongest Delhi. The Eastern Peripheral Expressway of 135 kilometers, 12,000 crore completed. Dwarka Express Highway, 30 kilometers, we are spending 10,000 crore. Next up to December, we will open that. That is going to reduce the problem of this Delhi Jaipur highway. Then UER2, Urban Extension Road of 6 lanes, 76 kilometers of 8,000 crore, work has already started. Delhi to Akshardham to EP of 6 lanes, 32 kilometers of 3,500 crore, work has started. UP Haryana border to Sonipat 4 lane, 45 kilometers, 1,200 crore, already started. Gurgaon to Sohana 6 lane, 22 kilometers, 2,000 crore, work has started. Gona to Sonipat 4 lane, 38 kilometers, 1,500 crore, work has already started. Flyover and underpass on Delhi Gurgaon road of 1,000 crore, already it is in tender. Now after that, just 20 days before, I was there with our member NHI, Additional Secretary Mr. Ghosh and Manoj, with in Gurgaon of the program of BCG, some climate change conference was there. We were stuck up in the traffic. तो दोनों मुझे कह रहे थे ये ट्रैफिक, बोला अच्छा हो गया तुम जब मैं फंसा हूँ तो लोग देख रहे हैं और कितना आनंद उनके चेहरे पे आ रहा, देखो बोले हम मिनिस्टर भी फंसा है फिर भी नहीं, कितने लोगों को तकलीफ हो। तो मुझे पूछे कि मैं बोला तुम्हारे कारण है, तुमने गलती की। अगर धौला कुआं से पूरा फ्लाईओवर बनाते डबल डेकर और पूरा गुड़गांव के आगे ले जाते तो आज काय के लिए ट्रैफिक। तो अभी हमने एक अच्छा काम किया है कि महाराष्ट्र सांगली साकोली में हमने ब्रिजेस तोड़ दिया, ब्रिजेस को तोड़ दिया। और अभी हम चेन्नई में और पूना में बना रहे एक बना है। वो रोड ऐसा है कि नीचे में रोड, ऊपर में फ्लाईओवर, उसके ऊपर में फ्लाईओवर, उसके ऊपर में मास रैपिड ट्रांसपोर्ट के ऊपर। तो ये 3-3 लेन के है, वाघोली से शिरूर और तळेगांव से शिरूर और उधर चेन्नई पोर्ट से चेन्नई के बाहर। ऐसे 2 बड़े प्रोजेक्ट हम डिजाइन कर। अब मैंने सब जगह कहा कि जहाँ पीसीयू 30,000 के ऊपर है, 40,000 के ऊपर है, वहाँ डबल डेकर ब्रिज, सिंगल डेकर। मुझे मालूम नहीं, टेक्निकली वेरीफाई कर रहे हैं कि धौला कुआं से ये ब्रिजेस बीच में तोड़कर उसी एक ही पिलर पर 2 लेयर बन सकती है। तो अभी वो इंजीनियरिंग चैलेंज है, वो हो जाएगा तो आप धौला कुआं से चढ़ गए तो गुड़गांव के बाहर बीच में आप उतर सकते, वो होगा तो आपका ट्रैफिक जाम ही नहीं होगा। अब मैंने जब बनाया तो मुझे याद नहीं, दिल्ली ज़्यादा मालूम, इफ्को चौक में बनाया था, हीरो का चौक में बनाया, ऐसे वहाँ मैंने बीच बीच में बनाया पैच वर्क में। अनुभव से मुझे ध्यान में आया कि ये पैच वर्क इज नॉट, इसलिए अब मुंबई में ये गलती हो गई। मुख्यमंत्री जी ने मुझे कहा, मैंने बोला यही हम मुंबई में बनाते हैं कि नीचे में रोड, ऊपर में मेट्रो और ऊपर में फ्लाईओवर, उसके ऊपर में मेट्रो। बहुत अच्छा। ये दिल्ली, मुंबई, कलकत्ता, चेन्नई के लिए हो सकता है, हम उसके ऊपर जाएंगे। दिल्ली के ये पूरे रोड की संख्या, ये कॉस्ट 53,000 करोड़ है और ये 60,000 करोड़ के ऊपर। इसमें बाद में भी और प्रोजेक्ट ऐड किए हैं जिससे दिल्ली का पोल्यूशन। एक जो इम्पोर्टेंट चीज़ है, जो इन्वेस्टमेंट, तो अब मेरी बात को गलत मत, मुझे कोई इन्वेस्टर के पीछे घूमने की जरूरत नहीं। मैं नम्रतापूर्वक कह रहा हूँ, इन्वेस्टर मेरे पास आते तो मैं करता। और अब मेरे दिमाग में आया कि अब मैं गरीब लोगों के पैसे से रोड, और इसलिए हमारे पास 5-4 मॉडल, एक बीओटी, एक हाइब्रिड एन्युटी, फिर एक ईपीसी, फिर एक टीओटी और अभी हमने बनाया इनविट। अब हम जल्दी अगले महीने में कैपिटल मार्केट प्रोजेक्ट, और वो सीबी के काफ़ी रिस्ट्रिक्शन है, तो मैं 4 प्रोजेक्ट को लेके जा रहा हूँ। तो मैंने ये तय किया है, मैंने सुझाव दिया, सेबी के अप्रूवल किया है कि कोई 10 लाख के ऊपर इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं, और वी विल एश्योर हिम रिटर्न 7-8%। तो जो छोटे छोटे सफाई कामगार, चपरासी, कांस्टेबल, कर्मचारी, पत्रकार, इनके पैसे से रोड बना। मैं हमारे यहाँ ट्री बैंक की योजना के लिए भूपेंद्र यादव जी के साथ मीटिंग, तो लेबर मिनिस्टर, मैंने कहा 7 से 8%, बोले हम पूरा पैसा दे देंगे, हमारे लिए तो रिटर्न इतना बहुत बड़ा हो गया। तो 10 लाख के ऊपर करेंगे और फिर बाकी रहा तो आप लोगों के लिए रखेंगे, फिर उसके बाद बाकी रहा तो फॉरेन इन्वेस्टर को। अब मैं चाहता हूं कि हिंदुस्तान की रोड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को गरीब आदमी को लगे और उसका बेनिफिट। तो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इन्वेस्टमेंट ट्रस्ट, न्यू सेट ऑफ इन्वेस्टर्स लाइक म्यूचुअल फंड, इंश्योरेंस कंपनीज एंड पेंशन फंड हमने बनाया। We are formulating the new model to allow small investor to invest in infra project. We will soon list InvIT on stock market so that retail investors can trade units of InvIT, offering an opportunity to the common citizen, poor people with low and middle income to invest in the infrastructure project through InvIT, assuring 7-8% monthly return. This is very important. कि बैंक के डिपॉजिट पर बैच कम होते जा, जो रिटायर्ड लोग हुए उनके सामने समझ। गोइंग फॉर कैपिटल मार्केट एंड ट्राई करेंगे, अब ये ट्राई एंड एरर मेथड है, तो 10 लाख का शेयर पर पर्सन कोशिश कर रहे हैं। इन द नियर फ्यूचर एनएचआई शैल बी मोनेटाइजिंग वेरियस रोड एसेट थ्रू ए मिक्स ऑफ इनविट एंड टोल ऑपरेट ट्रांसफर टीओटी, विच शैल प्रोवाइड रिटर्न्स टू बोथ इंस्टीट्यूशनल एंड रिटेल इन्वेस्टर। अब बीओटी भी बढ़ाएंगे। बीओटी इसलिए नहीं बढ़ाया कि बीच में सब आईसीयू में थे। वो बोले हम अब पीओटी कैसे भरे। थोड़ी तबीयत सुधरी है, आईसीयू के बाहर आए, कम से कम 30-40 लोग होंगे तो कंपटीशन होगी, 4-5 लोग होंगे तो कार्टेल कर लेते, होटल में बैठ के तय कर देते कि किसने कितने लेना। प्रॉब्लम आती। तो अभी एक 20-25 लोग अगर बीड करने वाले आएंगे तो हम निश्चित रूप से ये बीओटी भी प्रायोरिटी देंगे। एक अच्छी योजना हमने बनाई है और उसमें आप लोग भी सहयोग। वैसे मैं रोड वाला नहीं हूँ, मैं एग्रीकल्चर में ही मैं काम करता हूँ, एग्रीकल्चर ही मेरी पैशन है, वो में ही। तो हम मेरा एक एनजीओ है, मैं 13 साल से, उसको भी वर्ल्ड अवार्ड भी। तो हमारी थीम है, दौड़ने वाले पानी को चलने के लिए लगाओ, चलने वाले पानी को रुकने के लिए लगाओ, और रुके हुए पानी को जमीन को पीने के लिए। गाँव का पानी गाँव में, खेत का पानी खेत में, घर का पानी। इसमें हमने बहुत काम किया। थोड़ा सा मैं जियोलॉजी जानता हूँ, कुछ रॉक ऐसे होते हैं जो पानी नहीं। जियोलॉजी में जियोलॉजी, जियोफॉर्मोलॉजी, मिनरोलॉजी, थोड़ा बहुत मुझे भी मौका मिला। तो वो रॉक्स के फॉर्मेशन पर एक मोहा स्केल ऑफ हार्डनेस है, टाल, जिप्सम, कैल्साइट, एपिटाइट, ऑर्थोक्लेट, क्वार्ट्ज, कोरंडम, डायमंड। द डायमंड इज सपोज टू बी द हार्डेस्ट मेटल। तो हम लोग क्या करते हैं, खुदाई करते नदी नालों, और जब तक पानी पीने वाला स्टार्टा नहीं लगता, रॉक नहीं लगता, तब तक नीचे जाता। ये प्रॉब्लम आप लोग नहीं समझोगे, ये हम अनुभव कर रहे हैं। मेरे यहाँ विदर्भ में, महाराष्ट्र में 10,000, मेरे खेती में आंध्र, तेलंगाना, कर्नाटक, तमिलनाडु, महाराष्ट्र, उड़ीसा, छत्तीसगढ़, राजस्थान, गुजरात, पानी का। मैं 48 रिवर कनेक्टिविटी प्रोजेक्ट मैंने बनाया, 19 डीपीआर तैयार किए। और रिवर कनेक्टिविटी योजना को मैंने कहा ये इन्वायरमेंट वाले बहुत तकलीफ देंगे, इसको रिवर कनेक्टिविटी मत बोलना, इसको बाढ़ प्रोटेक्शन। वो इकोनॉमी के लिए वायबल है। एक बार आप पीके में ये भी करिए। अभी ये पंचेश्वर है नेपाल में। 10 दिन पहले नेपाल के उप प्रधानमंत्री मेरे पास, मैंने कहा मैं आपको समझाता हूँ अनऑफिशियली, आप देखिए। पंचेश्वर के लिए 50,000 करोड़, 6,000 मेगावाट पावर होती। मैंने बोला आधा पैसा लैंड में तुम दे नहीं पाओगे, तुम्हारे सब भारत सरकार देगी, ऐसा दो। और आप 2,500 मेगावाट पावर लो। नेपाल को पावर कितनी लगती है, 2,500 मेगावाट। पूरी पावर आप ले लो, 2,500 मेगावाट, उसका इनकम ही आपको मिल जाएगा। और पंचेश्वर के कारण उत्तर प्रदेश और बिहार के बाढ़ खत्म हो जाए, तो सबको विन विन है। मैं जब था तो पंजाब, हरियाणा, राजस्थान, दिल्ली, उत्तराखंड, हिमाचल, गुजरात, महाराष्ट्र, कर्नाटक, तमिल, खूब झगड़े थे। 1970 से 23 झगड़े थे, मैंने 16 सुलझाए। तब मुख्यमंत्री आते थे, बोलता था दरवाजा बंद कर, और बंद करके मैं बोलता था जब तक तुम सोल्यूशन नहीं निकालोगे दरवाजा नहीं। आपको ताजुब होगा, 17 झगड़े मैंने मिटा दिए। ये पाकिस्तान और भारत का बंटवारा हुआ, तो 3 नदियों का पानी पाकिस्तान में जा रहा, 3 को भारत। हमारे 3 नदियों का अधिकार का पाकिस्तान। और इधर पंजाब हरियाणा एक दूसरे से इतना झगड़ा करते कि पानी के लिए, पानी की कमी नहीं है। अभी मैंने इंदिरा कैनल जो बनाया, उसको केवल कॉन्क्रीटिंग किया 2200 करोड़ का, तो राजस्थान के 9 डिस्ट्रिक्ट को पानी की कमी नहीं है। अभी ये पोलावरम जो बना है, मेरे समय में 60,000 करोड़ का, बहुत मैंने मदद की। कालेश्वर बना, काफी तेलंगाना का पानी का प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो सकता, और इसमें से हाइड्रो पावर भी आ सकती है। और 1 एकड़ में पानी ड्रिप इरिगेशन से जाएगा तो 2.5 गुना उत्पन्न बढ़ता है। तो आज इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में ह्यूज अपॉर्चुनिटी है, वो इरिगेशन में, उसके भी पोटेंशियल को आप जरूर कभी निकालिए। ये अमृत सरोवर हमने बनाया। अकोला में एक पंजाबराव कृषि विद्यापीठ है, मैंने उनको 1 रुपया खर्चा नहीं, क्या रिकॉर्ड हुआ ना, 75 किलोमीटर, वहां 36 तालाब बनाया फुकट में। और जो 450 एकड़ इरिगेशन था वो 10,000 एकड़ हुआ, 22,000 कुएं रिचार्ज हुए। और जहाँ किसान आत्महत्या कर रहे थे वहां नीम के पेड़ लगे, और कड़ू नीम के पेड़ लगे, और बढ़िया इरिगेशन बढ़ा, इनकम बढ़ा, और परिस्थिति 1 रुपए की इन्वेस्टमेंट। ये हमने अजिंठा देखा होगा, बुल्डाना अजिंठा रोड, ब्लैक रॉक, पूरे रोड को हमने नदी नालों के साथ झरनों को, तालाब को खोली कर हमने स्कीम बनाई कि हमारा रोड कॉन्ट्रैक्टर जो एग्रीगेट यूज होता है वो वहां से निकालेगा और रोड में यूज करेगा, उसके पैसे रॉयल्टी सरकार नहीं देगा। आम के आम गुठली के दाम फुकट में। तो अब रेलवे में, इरिगेशन में, सब जगह ये हो सकता है वाटर कंजर्वेशन। और ये अगर हो गया तो देश का सिंचाई बहुत बढ़, और इसलिए ये एक इम्पोर्टेंट इनिशिएटिव जो हमने लिया है। बाद में इसके साथ साथ टूरिज्म की कनेक्टिविटी भी हमने। टूरिज्म ये ऐसा फील्ड है जिसमें 49% कैपिटल इन्वेस्टमेंट एम्प्लॉयमेंट पोटेंशियल पे। मैं फिर से फिक्की को रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा। अब रोड रोड पर मैं बहुत बोल चुका हूँ, यहाँ आता हूँ, अब मैं ज़्यादा क्या बोलूँगा, सब आप देखते ही हो। अब आप अगला सेमिनार लो, पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट और इलेक्ट्रिक में रोप वे, केबल कार, फेनाकुलर रेलवे, बस पोर्ट, एयरपोर्ट जैसे पार्किंग प्लेसेस, लॉजिस्टिक पार्क, और ये पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट सिस्टम ऑन इलेक्ट्रिसिटी। और डॉफल मेयर ने फिलीपाइंस में एक बनाई है, हवा में चलने वाली डबल डेकर बस। मैंने मुंबई में प्रपोज किया, अभी कोई लैंड नहीं, कुछ नहीं। अब धौला कुआं से मानेसर मैं बनाना चाहता हूँ, सरकार के पैसे की जरूरत ही नहीं, 22 का आया रहा, और रोड मेरा ही है। वो हाइपर लूप वाले मिले तो मैंने बोला आओ ना, आपको बुलेट ट्रेन बनाना, हाइपर लूप है, मैं 24 घंटे के अंदर लैंड देता हूँ दिल्ली मुंबई, करो। अब रोड इज रेडी। मैं ई हाईवे बनाना चाहता हूँ। अभी इलेक्ट्रिक ट्रक आ रहा है, इलेक्ट्रिक बसेस आ रही है। अब 6 महीने में देखो 50,000 बसेस हिंदुस्तान में आएगी, डबल डेकर बसेस आएगी, लग्जरी बसेस यूरोप की जैसी इलेक्ट्रिक। तो उसमें ये रोप वे, केबल कार, अभी 165 प्रपोजल मैं मंजूर कर रहा हूँ। कॉन्ट्रैक्टर नहीं, जॉइंट वेंचर नहीं, टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं, मेक इन इंडिया, मेड इन इंडिया, इसमें आप आओ, बहुत से वर्ल्ड की टेक्नोलॉजी को ले आओ, और इसमें कितना बड़ा काम हो सकता है। इससे टूरिज्म बढ़ेगा। अभी हम राम वनगमन मार्ग 258 किलोमीटर 5,000 काम चालू किया। राम जानकी मार्ग और 436 किलोमीटर 2,000 करोड़ यूपी और बिहार में काम चालू हो गया। ब्रज कोसी, ये मथुरा में हम लोग जो प्रदक्षिणा होती है, वो 84 कोसी परिक्रमा मार्ग 235 किलोमीटर 4,000 करोड़ स्टार्ट। अयोध्या रिंग रोड 67 किलोमीटर 4,500 करोड़ स्टार्ट हो गया। बुद्ध सर्किट, पूरे वर्ल्ड के बुद्ध, भगवान बुद्ध हमारी विरासत, ये उत्तर प्रदेश और बिहार में सब स्थान है। और ये बुद्ध सर्किट में हमने 419 करोड़ 20,000 करोड़ का लगभग कंप्लीट। पूरे साउथ ईस्ट एशिया, इंडोनेशिया, मलेशिया, चाइना, थाईलैंड, इतने टूरिस्ट आते हैं। वाराणसी इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट बन गया। तो ये बुद्ध सर्किट, 4 धाम प्रोजेक्ट, पूरे साल भर आप जा सकोगे। बद्रीनाथ, केदारनाथ, गंगोत्री, हमने वहां रोपवे का भी काम शुरू कर। और वहां कितने होटल्स, रेस्टोरेंट्स 3 गुना बढ़ेंगे। मैं अभी चुनाव के प्रचार के लिए गया था, मुख्यमंत्री के कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में। उन्होंने बड़े अभिमान से कहा, नितिन जी आपको पता नहीं हमारे कितने भाषण, 12 फ्लाइट्स आती है रोज की। भाषण में चिंता मत कर, दिसंबर के बाद एक भी फ्लाइट। अब मुंबई से पुणे 10 फ्लाइट आती थी जेट एयरवेज, एयर इंडिया, अब एक भी नहीं आती है। क्योंकि 2 घंटे में देहरादून जाएंगे, तो यहाँ से एयरपोर्ट जाओ 1 घंटा, फिर वहाँ 1 घंटा बैठो, फिर जाने के लिए 1 घंटा, फिर घर जाने के लिए 1 घंटा, 5 घंटे के बजाय 2 घंटे में घर पहुंचेंगे, तो कौन जाएगा। तो आने वाले समय में होटल्स, रेस्टोरेंट्स, रिसोर्ट्स, ये सब वहाँ बढ़ेंगे। ये प्रोजेक्ट भी अभी चल रहा है। महाराष्ट्र में हम पालखी मार्ग बना रहे हैं, आनंदी 12,000 करोड़ का, काफी काम 570 करोड़ पूरा हुआ। फिर कैलाश मानस सरोवर टू पिथौरागढ़ 90% काम पूरा हुआ। -6 डिग्री और -8 डिग्री में मिग 26 के हेलीकॉप्टर से मशीन वहां लेके गए। बहुत कठिन, बहुत ही प्रतिकूल स्थिति में है। मैं तो हेलीकॉप्टर से भी जाने की हिम्मत नहीं करता, क्योंकि मुझे ऑक्सीजन के बारे में बहुत डर लगता है। आज वहाँ हमारे लोग काम कर रहे हैं। जुआरी ब्रिज गोवा का, अब देखो जरा, इतना सुंदर बना, के ऊपर व्यूअर गैलरी बना, और कैप्सूल लिफ्ट से ऊपर जाएंगे, पूरा गोवा दिखे। स्टेट ऑफ आर्ट प्रोजेक्ट। बेट द्वारका, जो ओखला सिग्नेचर ब्रिज बना रहे हैं द्वारका, तो मैं आपको यही कहूँ, नर्मदा में एक ब्रिज अच्छा डिजाइन करके, तो उसमें काफी बड़े प्रमाण पर एस्थेटिक। मैं आपको एक बता दूं, मुझे बड़ा आनंद है इसमें। मैं नागपुर में कल 24 तारीख को उसका पहला पायलट इनॉग्रेशन। वो वर्ल्ड का सबसे बड़ा फाउंटेन है, जिसकी फ्लोटिंग फाउंटेन की 50 मीटर। उसका आर्किटेक्ट है फ्रांस से, उसके पंप आए टर्की से, उसका संगीत है AR रहमान का, उसकी अंग्रेजी कमेंट्री है अमिताभ बच्चन की, उसकी हिंदी कमेंट्री है गुलजार की, मराठी कमेंट्री है नाना पाटेकर पाटेकर की। 5 ऑस्कर विजेता उस पर काम कर, और आपको ताज्जुब होगा कि 4000 लोगों की गैलरी बने, और उसके म्यूजिकल है। और रेवती करके एक तमिल तेलुगु फिल्म की अभिनेत्री थी, उसको मैंने काम किया था। इतना सुंदर काम किया है उन्होंने। स्टेट ऑफ आर्ट प्रोजेक्ट। उसके बाजू में मैंने 12 मंजिले बिल्डिंग बनाई, 1100 गाड़ियों का ऑटोमेटिक पार्किंग, और तीसरे मंजिले से 30,000 फुट का स्क्वायर फुट का फूड मॉल, 12वें मंजिले पर 4 मल्टीप्लेक्स, और 13वें मंजिले पर रिवॉल्विंग रेस्टोरेंट। फिर मैं गार्डन बना रहा हूँ। देखो, जिसको इंटरेस्ट है वो करता है, मुझे खाज है, मैं करता हूँ। मैंने वो अपने MP फंड से 50 लाख रुपए दिए। तो पूरे देश से मैंने फ्लावर इकट्ठा किया, 265 जातियों के कमल के फूल लाए। वो तेलंगखेड़ी बगीचा है, उसको मैं कमल का गार्डन, 265, 350 जातियों के अभी तक गुलाब कलेक्ट किए, ग्रीन हाउस तैयार किया। वहाँ बहुत बड़ा, जैसे आप वैनकोर में गए होंगे, वो बुचर्ड गार्डन देखा, दैट इज माई इंस्पायर। वैसे गार्डन 350 प्रकार के गुलाब डेवलप किए। और मैंने कहा कि लोग 100 रुपए का टिकट निकाल के आने चाहिए, फुकट मत देखो। और इतना सुंदर बना है कि नेचुरली हम टाइगर कैपिटल, तो जो नागपुर आता है अभी टाइगर देखना, तो एक एक दिन 8-8 टाइगर देखते हैं ताड़ोबा में। तो टाइगर देखने के लिए रोज खूब लोग आ रहे, मतलब ये सब फाउंटेन देख। तो टूरिज्म ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट। लोगों को केवल रेस्टोरेंट चाहिए, वॉशरूम्स चाहिए, पार्किंग प्लेसेस चाहिए, क्लीननेस। अगर इतना भी हुआ तो इस देश का टूरिज्म इतना बढ़ेगा, नॉर्थ ईस्ट का भी बहुत बड़ा है। इसमें एम्प्लॉयमेंट पोटेंशियल, और आप जरूर इसके ऊपर विचार करो। एक इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज़ है कि टेक्नोलॉजी में ये बिटुमिन रोड कैसे भी बनाओ, 2 साल में। एक अल्ट्राटेक में रिटायर्ड हुए टेक्निकल डायरेक्टर, उन्होंने एक वाइट टॉपिंग की टेक्नोलॉजी। तो मैं भी अभी, कल मेरी मीटिंग है हमारी सेक्रेटरी के साथ, तो कहने वाला हूँ कि ये क्या है, ये सीमेंट वालों ने कार्टेल करके मेरा आया, तो मैंने इसको बंद किया, तो कॉन्क्रीट। पर मैं बोला अल्टरनेटिव मटेरियल ढूंढो, इसका लेवल कम करो, ताकि इनका सीमेंट कम। तो अभी हम लोग 8 इंच का वाइट टॉपिंग, और उसमें रबराइज बिटुमिन को, उसका सरफेस बिटुमिन सरफेसिंग करेंगे। तो मुझे लगता है ये 25 साल कुछ नहीं होगा इसमें। हम लोग 20,000 करोड़ साल के मेंटेनेंस के लिए खर्चा करते हैं। और मेंटेनेंस एक ऐसा विषय रहता है, इसमें नेता भी खुश होते हैं, अधिकारी भी खुश होते हैं, और बार बार मेंटेन करने में बड़ा आनंद, नुकसान जनता का होता है। अभी ये परमानेंट रोड बनाना चाहिए, उससे कुछ लोग नाराज होते हैं, ठेकेदार नाराज, हमारा धंधा खत्म। और ये बनाया तो 25 साल, मैंने नागपुर में पूरे कॉन्क्रीट रोड, 25 साल कोई गड्ढा नहीं। मुंबई पुणे हाईवे बना है, अब यहाँ कोई गड्ढा नहीं है, 25 साल हुए। मुझे लगता है कि ये टेक्नोलॉजी का हम उपयोग कर रहे हैं। बाद में बहुत से वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड हुए, उसकी बात तो मैं कुछ कहूँगा नहीं। एक और इम्पोर्टेंट चीज़ जो है, हम लोग जो टनल कर रहे हैं, वो टनल केवल हम 2 लाख करोड़ के टनल। मुझे लगता है कि इसके ऊपर आप अलग से एक बार करो। मैं चाहता हूँ इंडियन कॉन्ट्रैक्टर, इंडियन मशीनरी, और इसमें हमने जो टनल बना रहे हैं, में जोजिला टनल में 5,000 करोड़, वो एसोसिएम जो है, वो आपकी पैरेलल हुई ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है। वो अपने भी, मुझे मालूम नहीं रिलेशनशिप कितनी अच्छी रहती है, कॉम्पिटिशन होती है। उन्होंने बहुत काम किया मदद की। अब जोजिला, झेड़मोर, तिकियारा, ट्विन टनल विथ उन्हीं नालान, केवल 60,000 करोड़ की टनल तो कश्मीर। और आने वाले समय में ये जो 24 टनल्स है, 34 टनल्स है, 93 किलोमीटर की, वो अंडर कंस्ट्रक्शन है। 15 टनल 40 किलोमीटर की ऑपरेशनल है और टोटल 282 किलोमीटर 2.5 लाख करोड़ के टनल बना और 2024 तक के काम शुरू करेंगे। 24 टनल जो है 149 किलोमीटर की उसके डीपीआर बना, मल्टी मॉडल लॉजिस्टिक पार्क बना रहे हैं 2 लाख, काफ़ी जगह हमारे पास है, 30-40 जगह हमने काम किया। जालना और वर्धा में वहाँ हम लोग ड्राई पोर्ट थे, सैटेलाइट पोर्ट, वो भी एक्वायर। तो मेरा आपको यही सुझाव है कि हमने काफ़ी कोल्ड स्टोरेज, प्री कूलिंग प्लांट, वेयर हाउसेस, बस पोर्ट, लॉजिस्टिक पार्क, उसके बाद पार्किंग प्लाजाज और रोड साइड एम्यूनिटीज 650, 70 का काम चालू हो गया है। उसमें हेलीपोर्ट है, ड्रोन पोर्ट है और इसमें काफ़ी बड़े इन्वेस्टमेंट, जैसे मैंने कहा कि ये इन्फोर्समेंट कंक्रीट की जो डिस्टेंस बिटवीन 2 पियर का डिस्टेंस 30 मीटर, वो 120 मीटर तक जा सकता है। जो जो बीम है वो स्टील फाइबर में, तो हमने भी मैंडेटरी किया। सॉइल स्टेबलाइजेशन पर हम काफ़ी बड़े प्रमाण पर प्रोत्साहित कर रहे हैं कि एग्रीगेट लेने की जरूरत है। तो मेरा आपसे ये अनुरोध है कि इनोवेशन एंड टेक्नोलॉजी को हम इंकरेज करें। शुरुआत में अड़चन आती है, पर धीरे धीरे आप भी कोई अच्छी टेक्नोलॉजी होगी तो हमें दीजिए, जो विदाउट कॉम्प्रोमाइज विद द क्वालिटी, इफ द कॉस्ट सेविंग इज देयर 100% वी विल। और इसलिए अलग अलग सेक्टर पर जाकर आप और अध्ययन करेंगे। तो मेरी एक इच्छा है कि इंडियन इंडस्ट्री ये आगे आए, ये इन्वेस्ट करे, ये काम करे। और जो प्रधानमंत्री जी का आत्मनिर्भर भारत, इसमें हमारे रोड सेक्टर का बहुत बड़ा जिम्मेदारी है। आप सबके सहयोग से वो पूरी होगी, इसी विश्वास के साथ मैं अपनी बात को समाप्त करता हूँ। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Honorable Minister. If one person single-handedly can be credited for changing the roadmap of India, that's, and I mean quite literally, it will be Mr. Gadkari. So your innovative ideas are not just increasing the pace of infrastructure development in the country, but also bringing in transformational impact on the socio-economic prosperity of countrymen. With this, I would formally invite my colleague Manam Bajunta to deliver the word of thanks.
Thank you, Nitya. It's my pleasant duty to propose a vote of thanks with the insightful address by the Honorable Minister. We have just made an exciting start of the third edition of our Roads and Highways Summit. Honorable Minister, we are most grateful to you for your gracious presence and sharing with us your valuable thoughts and views on the sector's development and many other important related areas. Sir, we are immensely encouraged by your continuous guidance. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Bivin Rao, Mr. Shailesh Pathak, office bearers of the FICCI Infrastructure Committee, and all the esteemed members of our committee who are not only present here today and have been giving us valuable input towards the functioning of the committee as well as organizing this summit. Our sincere most thanks are due to senior officials from the ministry and various agencies who have for being kindly present here today, our distinguished speakers, delegates, industry members, to one and all who have helped us to make this summit a success. I wish to thank our friends from media for their kind support and coverage. Last but not the least, I would like to thank our partners and sponsors. Silver sponsor, Silver partner MSP Steels, SRMB Srijan Private Limited, Action Construction Equipment Limited, and associate partner Geosys India Infrastructure Private Limited for kindly supporting this summit. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your kind attention. I'll give it back to Nit.
Thank you very much, Manav. As the Honorable Minister departs, we will not have the tea break. We will immediately start session 1. And I invite my colleague Komal. Kindly allow us 2 minutes of time for doing the session changeovers. We will not have any break and will continue for the business session 1, that is on accelerating developments of roads and highway sector, current trends, concerns, and future roadmap. I would like to now invite the speakers for business session 1. May I take this opportunity for inviting Shri Amit Kumar Ghosh, Additional Secretary Highways, Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, Mr. R.K. Pandey, Member Projects, NHAI, Mr. Satish Parak, Managing Director, Ashok Buildcon Limited, Mr. Arun Kumar Sharma, CEO Transportation Business, GMR Group, Mr. D.K. Sen, Whole-Time Director and Senior Executive Vice President, L&T. He's going to be joining us any moment. And last but not the least, our moderator for the session, Mr. Jagan Narayan Padmanabhan from CRISIL. Requesting all the speakers to kindly come on the dais, please. Requesting all delegates to kindly be seated. I now hand over the session to the session moderator, Mr. Jagan Narayan Padmanabhan, Practice Leader and Director, Transport and Logistics, CRISIL.
Yeah, good afternoon. It's indeed a pleasure to moderate this session. But at the start, I'm going to be inviting Amit Kumar Ghosh, Additional Secretary Highways, Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, to give a special address.
Yeah, thank you. distinguished panelists on the dais, all the members and guests of FICCI who are present here. I'll just take. I'm sorry, the call had to be shared with Mr. Pandey. So, uh, ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure to be here. I think there is a certain degree of energy which is infectious and it has caught, should I say, most of us, or at least I'll say at least many of us, which is this whole thing about this idea about Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. The more I meditate on this, the more I realize how little time we have left uh, in the innings that we have played in this country in doing our best. Because, Azadi Ka Amrit Kal also means that the next generation must take over and we must make way for the new crop which is coming along. And I'm really uh, very happy to be here when FICCI is organizing this summit in the context of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Actually, India at 75 is not very different from what I have been seeing all along. Of course, I mean, uh, I'll just tell you, I was talking to a lady 2 days ago, and she said that she had lost her father and she had to go to a place called Paheva near Kurukshetra. And she was really scared of the potholed road. There is something that they had to do over there in the context of losing her father. And she said, Mr. Ghosh, I cannot tell you the kind of road, you have built. So, I mean, of course, I'm not built. I just get, uh, credit where, which I don't really deserve. But the fact is that people see these changes and they take them as, fundamental changes. But I think that fundamental changes are yet, but they are on their way. So I have tried to convey to you my excitement about the Azadi Ka Amrit Kal. And I think that uh, though we may not play a very active role in these 25 years, next 25 years, but there are a few people here who will be playing that role, young, younger colleagues. Let me also share with you that recently the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change has appointed me as the chair of the Interministerial Committee to come up with the uh, policy document. I should not say, I should say a paper on India's vision for 2070 in the context of the declaration made by Honorable Prime Minister in Glasgow for COP26, in which, we have said that we'll become a net carbon zero transport, I mean, in country and in the transport sector. Also, this is so. I just wish to start from there by inverting my address a little. And uh, the entire concept of reducing green gas emission in the country, what is important is that uh, you know we contribute about we contribute about 30% of the transport sector. So it is important that we shift to better modes of travel in terms of climate impact, and that is what Honorable Minister towards the end he exhorted all of us over here, and especially requested Picky to consider his request to hold a discussion on green technologies and electric vehicles, etc. So I just wanted to uh, underline this fact. Now, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I came to this sector in 2007. Today, we have the second largest budget after Ministry of Defense. It's not a joke. I mean, I have seen in front of my eyes quantum jump in allocation for our sector. I think it's a it's a very big thing, you know. And today we have the largest national highway building program anywhere in the world. What is more exciting is that the person who signed the cabinet note for Bharat Mala Phase 1, I'm really looking forward to also signing another cabinet note. I hope it is not many weeks away. And that would account for even a larger allocation in terms of money because the vision is even larger. So, as I said, we are now ready to translate our dreams that as Indians we have dreamt. And we are really going to transform this country. So, in 2015, uh, from 2015 till now, we have seen a 68% increase in budgetary allocation. Are we ready for it? Is it sufficient to have greater financial allocation, or are our stakeholders ready in the next, as India has turned 75, to respond to this challenge of greater resources available for us? This is something that we have to really, and I don't think that this summit will suffice. I would suggest picky dialogues on. We should have picky dialogues on. So, uh, I'll not go through most of the works because our specialist, Mr. R.K. Pandey, is here, and he will take over those things. I'm just going to talk about some trends. Last financial, we raised nearly 20,000 crores through various types of monetization. This year also in the budget speech, our target is about 20,000 crores. But uh, I'm- I must confess that Niti Aayog has given us a much larger target, and that is giving us sleepless nights. So, from this forum also, I wish to say that roads, as Honorable Minister said, are inherently profitable, and we request greater interest from the market and the stakeholders who would like to come forward and invest in the road infrastructure, help us monetize our already existing. In fact, the global investable capital for roads has been growing at a CAGR of 16%, and it is estimated to be about 1,75,000 crores. It was estimated to be in the financial year 2020. A huge amount of money, and we in the country should be able to attract a good bit. And that has been our effort in terms of TOT or in terms of InvIT that we have set up. Here, I would like to say that recently, in two TOT bundles, we really didn't get the kind of response that we were, and because we have to meet our targets, so we are doing something quite constructive, and I'm happy to say that if our fallback strategy succeeds, will raise an equal, a greater amount of funds, if not the same kind. 4,200 was the target. We should be able to do it, but I I would urge the captains of industry and especially people who are who are in the sector for investing in road assets. Uh, we need to have more dialogue. And, we'll be happy to connect with them, talk to them, and solve their problems, if any, in order to increase their investment. Uh, as I said, private sector investments have also risen uh, to about 22,000 crores, and we are hoping that by financial year 2025, we are looking at a target of 50,000 crore investment in road sector for asset monitoring. So this is something that we want to really improve our ecosystem, and we wish to have a dialogue on this. And I'll be very happy and also thankful if the authorities here, Alex Pathak, as the chair of the infrastructure, could help us. Of course, we do our road shows. We have Secretary Saab had himself gone to Mumbai, the minister had gone. So we keep doing, but a helping hand is always. So this is something that I really wanted to underline, and I'll tell you why. Because I think that the need for funds, according to our vision about which I spoke in the beginning about what we are now planning to unveil soon, that is that will require serious asset. So your help is always. Secondly, I think that this entire ease of doing business is very very critical. It is no longer a mere slogan. Serious work is getting done, and I just want to speak a few things. Uh, when I came, the language of the sector was Greek and Latin to me, but I did understand that right in the beginning that we would give the appointed date without any kind of clearance and then expect the miracle from the and lot of stakeholders had suffered, and some of them went to the ground also. So a lot of self discipline has been brought in, and I would just like to run through this because I think it's very important. All of you know about it, but I think it is so important that I just want to underline these. That we have made multiple changes in the model concession agreement, and these reforms, they relate to project preparation, condition precedents, dispute resolution. We have the DRBs now, limitation of liability. So we have incorporated many changes, and let me just give you an example of the kind of dialogue that we have had with all of you. When Mr. Sandhu was the chairman, NHAI sent us entire set of changes that they wanted incorporated, but he said no. I am going to now put it up on the NHAI website, and I am going to invite further inputs. And I tell you, in 3 months, we had 200 recommendations for changes. And it was a Herculean task for NHAI and then for the ministry. We went through each and everything. And Mr. R.K. Pandey is here. I remember the multiple meetings that we would have, and he would clarify the issues raised by the stakeholders. So this is something that we have done, but I do believe that this is, if there is anything else required, we have a very robust IMC system, and I'll be very happy to, because I think now the area that really needs to be looked at is how to use the MCA to leverage the best kind of technology for highway. We have to now steadily go beyond construction part and look at the MCA and see, okay, so this is my document, but does it help me get the best in class players who would bring the best kind of. So there is always a trade off between the cost and the kind of technology that you want to bring. But we really want to check, inferior technologies coming in and parading as top of the line kind of. So this is something that we all should look at and help. I don't want to say help. Please contribute to this, and we'll be very happy to look at it. And we have already started our interview. So road condition monitoring also is something. Uh, let me tell you, we give away the National Highway Excellence, and today we'll be opening the portal for this year. Last year we have a National Highway Excellence Awards category for O&M. But we send our people on ground. So we found that the shortlisted ones, the quality was not really very good. And we reported it to the jury headed by the then CEO, Mr. Amitabh Kant, Niti Aayog. And he expressed his dissatisfaction. And he said, in fact, he cornered me on this and he said, look, why are you bringing me cases when you yourself are giving me feedback that the O&M, you are not happy with the O&M. So I think we didn't give the gold to anybody. We gave the silver. So I think as a as a community of road developers, highway managers, all of you, please look at the O&M part better, because our field reports for, and again we have now opened the portal today, we are inviting, but really we want to look at this O&M part, and we don't want to do something which is inferior. So TOT, you already know, we have made multiple changes in the MCA of the HAM model, right, to make it as investor friendly, as friendly to all of you as possible. It is not possible to meet all needs, but now we are again trying to incorporate some changes. Uh, uh, they are at a discussion level at the in the office of the chairperson, and once we get them, we will try to go further in this. I'm not going to enumerate the kind of changes we have made in the hand document. All of you know. Uh, we have, as you know, made special dispensation, given a special dispensation for tunneling. And as Honorable Minister just now said, it's a big market out there. Big opportunities lie there. So kindly, uh, we want the best in class and uh, I, for one, I would like that. You know, we have already solved kind of solved the problem of our neighbors coming in and doing our places. But I think we have to go. We have to be so good ourselves that we don't need. Then nobody else can compete with our. So that is something that I really wish to say. Uh, mm, I think our challenge also lies in further simplifying our procurement. As one of the lead public procurement agencies or ministry in the country, I think that this is something on which continuous work must be done in the Azadi Ka Amrit Kal. And mm, we have created a platform for investors, bankers, other stakeholders to continuously give us input. In fact, Secretary Moore was the head of a committee for seamless transfer, committee for ensuring seamless transfer of bank credit in in infrastructure. So his report has been submitted. I was the convener secretary of the committee. So all ministries we have given, and we have been interacting directly with banks. I think that there are a lot of opportunities available, ladies and gentlemen. Uh, in our ministry, we look forward to far closer interaction, more dialogue, and I really wish to congratulate all of you for the kind of achievements that we have been able to showcase before our countrymen with your help. And I think that the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav enjoys this particular responsibility upon us, that we give the best quality at the best possible cost to the country. With this, I wish you all the very
Thank you very much, sir. Interesting. So just jump into the panel discussion. Start with Mr. Pandey upfront. So the budget allocation, you see, we also talked about it, kind of quadruple. The quantum is really quadrupled in the last 8 years or so, and the kind of construction of roads has also kind of increased. Similar part of it, about 4 times it is there. And in terms of the length kilometers, it is gone for 2.5 times. So what we did from independence to 2014 and what you're going to see in the 10 years, like 2.5 times. So commendable work has happened, right? Are we resting on the laurels? What lies ahead? And specifically more on the technology part of it, and in terms of and talking about 100 kilometers per day kind of a construction that's a bit ahead of time. But how do you get there, and what needs to be done to reach there? Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. Friends, you have heard my minister, you have heard the views of the ministry through additional secretary, and it's a fact that yes, our budget has increased multiple. When budget has increased during last 1 decade, we have seen that when we were building around 10 kilometer a day, we have gone as high as 37 kilometers a day. When you hear my minister, he always talks about 100 kilometers a day. And I have no doubt there is every possibility we may. But in the near future, we are not targeting 100 kilometers. We are looking at 100 kilometers. Building road is not an issue. There are challenges. When I'll talk about building with such a speed, there are a number of challenges. And one of the biggest challenges is the sustainability. Think of the kind of material I need for 37 kilometers. In terms of aggregate, if I'll calculate in terms of aggregate, one of my small office, which is PIU, which is handling only 5 projects, they require 10,000 ton of aggregate per day. Now, can I sustain this kind of construction for long? But at the same time, when I'm saying we are thinking of 40 kilometers or beyond 40 kilometers, then what we are looking for? We are looking for, and it is not something new. We have already number of new technologies. We have already introduced people. Number two, the second biggest challenge is about durability. When we are building road, we are charging money. Everybody expects that the road should be durable. When I'm saying durable, means they don't want that any kind of interruption in terms of. So I'll have to build road which are maintained. You heard in the morning, there are options. We are thinking of, you know, perpetual payment. We are thinking of concrete payment, and our whole system, how we decide about the various kind of payment is on the basis of the life cycle cost. So as to ensure that whatever we are building, we are getting the best value. Third important point is whether we have capability to deliver. Of course, when we moved from 10 kilometers to 37 kilometers, we moved in a stepped manner as a result of our industry development. How far we can develop that? The biggest issue why we are successful is the ministry is responsive to the concern raised by the state. I can take you back to the NSDP era when we started with the item rate. We were implementing item rate contracts with a very, very successful way, but then we realized that we'll have to speed up our implementing. And we have, when we taken up more projects, then we realized the requirement of more, and then the BOT was introduced. Unfortunately, during the year 11-12, it flopped, but ministry didn't stop. They brought out another new model, that is EPC, and try to revive the industry through EPC by putting money. But with EPC we cannot continue for long, because that was the issue with which we started with the BOT. So BOT, they didn't have the confidence. EPC we can't continue, so we have introduced another mode of construction. Now you have heard about BOT Invest. The whole idea is, as far as resources are concerned, we are trying to harness each and every segment of the market, depending upon their risk appetite. So we are responding to it. But at the same time, let me tell you, yes, the whole credit for this enhanced development phase of the road construction won't go to ministry or the government. all the stakeholders are responsible for that. They are time to time the stakeholders has raised their, and some of the concerns were related to failure of the BOT, and that was biggest challenge in the sense when we have analyzed that the BOT failed because we also failed in doing our part of work, that is the reconstruction activities. Now we have modified all our systems, and until and unless we have learned, we have done pre-construction activity to a defined level. We don't. The other issue which was raised by the industry is about the dispute. The newspaper reports were flooded that more than a lakh crore were held up because of the dispute between NHAI and the BOT operator or the contractor or the country. We have introduced a system of conciliation committee. There are three conciliation committee. I can only give you an idea about the success of this whole system is more than 200 cases have been referred to the court, out of which 160 cases have been resolved. And when I say 160 cases have been resolved, this has been resolved which were involving the total, claim of the order of roughly 45,000 crore. And these have been settled for this is all outside the court settlement, which has been done to the satisfaction of the industry. There is no force. It is a kind of conciliation where both the parties are. So we are trying to introduce all those issues which are facing the development, the road. The coming to the point of adoption of new technology, it has been, when you will see my contact document, whether it is EPC, which is budget supported, or M or BOT, which is through the private sector participation, we have given full freedom to the contractor and concessionaire to adopt any kind of technology they want. Today, we are not giving any BOQ. I am not telling you how to construct a road. I am looking for this kind of. I am specifying the performance level rather than giving the recipe how to construct. So, full freedom has been given to the contractor and concessionaire to adopt whatever technology they take. And as a result of this, during last 4-5 years, we have seen a sea change. Today, everybody has left the conventional way of constructing road, cemented base, and the bases are today not in use. Even code is recycling, farm mixes, use of plastic waste, use of slag. Not only steel slag, Mr. Satish Pandey might talk on that. All other kind of waste we are using in road construction, which was used in road construction, but for the lower layer. Now we have moved up to the top. Stabilization we have adopted in a big way, even for the maintenance. As a result, our thicknesses have been reduced. But all these innovations have been introduced by the contractor, and we have accepted wholeheartedly. There are issues related to introduction of new technology, but we have a cell in initiative, but at the same time, there are number of incidences wherein we'll have to really look towards in the recent past. There are accidents involving collapse of the bridges. There are a dozen of anyways that we have already taken up. There may be issues from your side as well. I'm sure you will raise all those issues. We'll try to respond to your issue the way we did in the past, and we'll take up our road construction in much faster way the way we are doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Just then getting into the conversation. If you see from an EPC play, that's your forte in a way from an RCQ perspective. And on the roads part, close to maybe about 40% and above. That's the award which happens on the EPC side of the business. And in a way, AM project also is deferred EPC. So a significant part of the roads construction is of that part. and you are a flag bearer in terms of the industry of keeping the standards and how it is there. But often we're seeing a lot of aggressive bidding which is happening. How do you see that in the context of overall road development? Do we have enough contractors as well? Because at the end of the day, if we have to progress in a fast-paced manner, we need quality contractors. So if we have qualified as we have enough contractors, do we have enough quality contractors? And what more needs to be done to get there and have multiple likes of LNG coming on board?
It was not made in a day. Years long. Road itself we are building. So now there are a lot of contractors in road. I'm very happy that because the qualification criteria were reduced, so they diluted so easy requirement, free bid bond requirement, all were for some time to make when India wanted to build a lot of roads, they really wanted a lot of contractors to come in and do it. It was the right move to have made. This is how today in every road job we see about 14, 15 if not 20 people. So the pricing also is very aggressive. With watching it because for our kind of the way we make roads with full equipment, safety, and wherever best possible quality. Not that our jobs are always without any quality issues. Road, but otherwise we try to do best quality, best safety, very good planning, lot of high-ended equipments to use. So with this kind of setup, how we can come to a level of pricing we cannot go below that. I have no complaint about it. We know one thing: when there are big jobs coming, automatically we will get qualified. So we don't at this point of time. In last 2 years, we have not got much of any projects, but we keep on bidding for it. But I'm very happy that today India has a lot of contractors who have done jobs that they got qualified. They can do bigger. Also, I'm very happy the government of India has recently come out with a quality and cost-based award system, evaluation system, which will otherwise mean that whenever a bid is coming up, there will be technical evaluation, there will be commercial evaluation. Technical evaluations, they will have 50%, commercial will be about 50%. So, with this together, good contractors with a good quality, a good credential, even if they are marginally higher in price, can still become a. However, this is now come out recently and it is not it being fully implemented. Maybe actually, I must tell you, I'm extremely grateful to NHI and Mr. Ghosh and Mr. Pandey because whenever I've gone to them with a problem, they really have helped us. When he was talking about cemented base, I remember I used to go to him and to say, "You have given this cemented base in your spec, part of the site you're not allowing to use." He told me, "Give me the name, I'll go and talk to them." That is how cemented base today has become very popular and everybody using it. Regarding slag cement roads, the slag cement road also, we have found out that if you use slag cement, steel slag in a road, the thickness of road can become 30%. Means you can really have a lot of economy. And with our, in India, there are about 100 million tons of steel being produced. So, and it's supposed to go up to about 150 million tons. With this kind of steel being produced, the steel slag will be available more in India. Thereby, the alternate material is here already. So I am very sure that the way NHI, a very able authority, is managing the whole show and coming out with a lot of circulars. Also, I am hearing that SOP is going to come out for quality control. It's excellent. Once it's implemented, I am very sure it will bring in a lot of quality control. So maybe today there are some projects which are not doing well with the quality, but with all these things being implemented, uh, things will become much better. Today, NHI is being appreciated to all the countries because of their huge programs. 35, 37 kilometers per day is not a very easy number. Achieving that in India is very difficult. And a lot of roads are yet to be made. Very sure, which is
Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Parak, uh, an interesting, if I can say, a statistic. Today, the road ownership, BOT side, if you were to look at it, other than the NHI, you see, the ownership of roads is now with the pension funds, with the investor community at the end of the day, in some way or the other, right? And it's not with, in a way, from a road developer, so to say. A significant change of hands has happened, so it, it signifies the maturity of uh, the whole road development and change of hands which has happened. In that context, you are still one of the largest player in the market who have BOT projects and running business. So how do you see this going forward, and from overall development, and what are the challenges that you see and the opportunities that are for people?
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, let me mention I've been working with NHI last more than 3 decades. And we have seen extraordinary since NHI, right from inception till today. We have seen great responsibility taken by NHI, and that delivery we all are seeing today, 37 kilometers, is absolutely very challenging and which has been being done so smoothly. Resources wise, I would say they are doing Herculean task with a very skeleton kind of organization. And private players are there helping them in entire building up this program. So together, I would say we are really doing great job. The specific question which you have asked me about road contractors, and then road contractors gradually became road developers. And then the right path we are moving where, pension funds and all institutional investors are now coming. When road building risk is over, they can come and they can take the financial risk. And this model is really helping the entire industry to exit. The best part of NHA has been they have been very responsive in whatever problems we take, either through NHBF or through any forum. There has been a dialogue and there has been a solution mind. But when we say we want to move from 37 to 100 kilometers a day in next few years, it's definitely going to be challenging. It definitely needs complete innovative thinking. It definitely need new solution. Pandey sir has very correctly said that there is going to be resource shortage in terms of availability of natural aggregates, and newer materials need to be put to use. Whatever we are trying to do and use different materials, we have been using slag, we had been using potash, we had been using a lot of other materials. But when we say we want to move from 37 to 100 is something requires much more than that. We need to move towards engineering of vehicles, automated vehicles, and roads required for them need to be done. We can't just go on adding kilometers and we can't just go on increasing the lane. Simultaneously, we have to see how the entire industry is automated. And from that perspective, we need to set up a institutional mechanism where futuristic roads can be developed, where things will completely change with technology. And India is a real good brain for the world. We can be first in this part if we really start now. We need not need to work only into urgent and important portion. We need to work what is important and not urgent today. If we are able to do that, definitely 100 kilometers can be a dream that we can achieve. This is all from my side.
Thank you. So you're saying it's a welcome that more pension funds and the investments are coming across into the people. Getting Mr. Arun Kumar into the conversation. Sir, as an institution, you've been in the whole BOT space. before, and have done significant amount of work in that part of it. And that is one thing area that you would want to, or not you as overall industry. Yeah, sir also mentioned in terms of new projects being put across in the overall BOT part of it. So, what are the? Is it the time right for bringing in these BOT projects? Because at the end of the day, from a capital perspective, there is that much. I mean, although the budget has gone by 4 times, uh, participation by the private sector will go a long way in speeding things up. So, A on the BOT and overall private sector participation.
We had, of course, it's okay. So we have been the BOT field for a long time. We had about 9 projects. Some we have completed and handed over to NHAI back. The first lot of them. Some we have divested also, and we still have 4 BOT projects under operation. 2 on toll and 2 on NAP. The experience has been mixed. Some projects have actually done well. Some projects have not done so well, mainly because of external factors like change in law and all. Unfortunately, what has happened that, as Mr. Parak said, the contractors who became developers and a lot of them have actually could not understand BOT properly, led to a lot of disputes, lot of losses. The biggest problem came because of the lenders not supporting to the developer, because the payments to them have been affected badly, particularly on all the toll projects. Now, lot of work has been done in last few years when HAM has come in. The pre-construction work which Mr. Ghosh and Mr. Pandey actually emphasized, there is a huge improvement in last 5-6 years, and the construction risk has drastically reduced, which is one of the major risks people were thinking about that. But in my opinion, the biggest issue is the toll collection and the revenue risk. The kind of road development now going on, which way the traffic will be redistributed is very difficult to assess for any of the consultants, because the past data, there is a huge change. We have a project in which I can tell you last 10 years the commercial traffic, the CAGR is -2%. Now it beats anybody, while the car traffic is +7% CAGR. Now development is taking place, but things are different because there are number of roads have come in, and the traffic actually chooses which one is the best for them, and there is no control anybody can exercise on that. So any BOT to come up in further, the revenue risk sharing part has to be taken care of clearly. There has been from the beginning actually NITI Aayog and Planning Commission, earlier Planning Commission, has been telling that up to 80% of revenue collection, the concessioner should take the complete risk. If it goes below 80, then the contract agreement should provide the amendment in the contract. It should not be that post-bid amendment to be done. There has to be a provision when the revenue goes below 80%, then what modifications are to be carried out. Unless that kind of clauses are brought in, it's very difficult. Particularly now the world has become so unstable. Anything goes out externally outside India also affects it badly. Whether it's a Ukraine war or now maybe impending drought in China with no power, no productions there. So the whole transport industry will be affected, and it will affect in India also. So there is no commercial traffic, then the toll is gone. So how do you deal such factors? You cannot assess. So those kind of in BOT projects need to be taken care of while working out the new concession. Private participation, even now 11%, though 22,000 crore is 11% investment is from private sector even now in highways, which actually need to be increased much higher. And people are ready. There are almost 100 different contractors who are bidding EPC. Mr. Sen mentioned 15, 20. I remember a project where 40 contractors were there. Most of them bidding below estimate. That's a different part. Something can be below, but people bidding 40% below is unimaginable, and those projects have never taken off. Actually, I have some suggestions on those also in the procurement policies also. There are number of contractors who have failed. NHAI should evaluate number of tenders or percentage of tenders awarded which actually not started work in time or started with 2 months delay or 6 month delay. I think those will give a clear idea of what necessary changes have to be made in the procurement policy. And there is a large number of failures in EPC as well as in HAM. HAM of late has improved because the lenders are open to do the lending. But past HAM projects, there are a large number of projects where financial closure has actually not. Now, there is one more thing I wanted to add. This will be uh, coming from this. This credit rating of the private parties becomes very important. Now, once you are on the toll project on BOT, it is linked to the BOT again. Toll shortfall leads to the delay in payment, leads to the credit rating going to D, and then he has all kinds of problems, the interest rates going up. So for infrastructure project, particularly in SPV model, we need to look at future cash flow also. Now there is a temporary setback for COVID, or I'll say for farmer strike. 14 months farmer strike in Punjab, no toll collection, banks have to be paid. How concessionaire will continue to pay that? Rating becomes D, all kinds of suffering. We have to pay the staff, continue to maintain the road, pay to the lenders, suffer in the rating without any default from concession. So there is a proposal actually by bank, and IBA has actually accepted a ELM rating kind of thing for rating agency for such SPVs in infrastructure projects, where future cash flow is to be taken into account and capacity to pay later. With that rating system, if it is provided to SPVs, that help a lot. So this BOT is an area where actually there are large number of stakeholders, the banks, the contractors, the developer, the NHAI, or any other state government for that matter, because a lot of expressive projects are also coming. So they have to work together and agree on a clear format for the concession agreement, as well as this rating agency, which is stuck in RBI. I think the question. Those things are required. Also, there is some reforms which has come up, that insurance bonds particularly coming up. Because working capital requirement has actually gone up. What EPC contractor thought of a 10% working capital requirement, or BOT concession has thought of that. Because of the fluctuations in commodity prices and all, and the delay in getting aggregates or even soil. Now even some states you cannot get earth, particularly in southern states. Your working capital requirement shoots up to 20%. Now how do you handle all those things? So those things, but escalation formulas for commodities, particularly in war-like situations or a situation like farmer strike, are to be considered in different manner. And there has to be a provision in the contracts and agreements for all such things, eventual things which happen. Because of no fault of the concessionaire or the contractor, the things become bad, the contracts get delayed, and everybody suffers, including the users, particularly when it is not a greenfield, brownfield road, where part construction is done and then he has to go on only on useless diversions and all. They also suffer for long. So perhaps there is a need to look at all these points and improve the BOT part, which will come up very soon.
Sure, thank you. And I think a lot of people are really looking forward to that as well. Just conscious of time. I think there's one more session I just realized, and before there is lunch. Uh, so I'll probably have one question to Mr. Pandey and then open the floor for any Q&A. So, sir, in terms of a road and then the measurement of the performance of a road in a generic sense, if you were to look at it. In fact, today in the morning we were in the committee, we were talking about what is the travel time. Actually, that could be a measure in which you can see the actual performance of the road. Today we are doing it out whatever at 30, 40 kilometers per hour. Are we moving towards 50, 70, whatever may be a appropriate standard? The second and important aspect is also the safety aspect. And I think that's been picked up quite significantly in the last 3-4 years on how do you minimize the accidents or if not avoid them. In that aspect, how is the whole construction of the roads, or what are the kind of aspects being looked at when you give it to the contractors and monitor them and see what more can be done in
Uh, as far as road safety is concerned, we are following the same graph which the developed countries are the countries where you don't find this kind of accident. We are following. Initially, everybody has the whole emphasis is on road. When we have taken up NSDP, we were very much keen that let us have 4 lane. But after constructing 4 lane roads, we realized that there are accidents. That time we have a constraint that we'll have to complete the work in a given cost, given resources. So we were very much hesitant in providing number of funds. And I remember those days, that time at 10 kilometer or 5 kilometer used to be treated as a CRP luxury. But over a period of time, when we realized that the road user will not follow, then they'll not go 2 kilometer or 4 kilometer. So today, invariably, we are providing underpasses on each and every junction with respect to the road. That is one part. Number two, we have also changed our philosophy. Initially, when we were designing our road, we were thinking that my role is to think as an engineer. I have provided 14-meter wide width. If driver goes off, it is his responsibility. It is driver's fault, not my fault. But then when we realize that it happens, then somebody will sneeze, somebody may take a nap. So we started thinking about forgiving road, and today our design standards are towards the forgiving road. Again, when we talk about road safety, everywhere you will hear there are 4 E's, 5 E's, 6 E's, and we were concerned about only one is injury. Over a period of time, we thought it's not engineering. When people are paying, we started providing ambulance and train in a and that we have taken on. Lastly, when we saw that even enforcement, we can help in enforcement and technologies are available, ATMS is now, and we are providing full facilities for the road user, and that can be used. Information can be used by the road user as well as by the enforcing agency. So we are trying to improve, and as a result, of course, I don't claim that number of fatalities have reduced, but if you see in terms of the road development done, the speeds increased. Somehow or the other, we could curtail, and I'm sure after our all these development, we'll say a negative trend. Coming to a quick point on the risk, minimizing the risk of revenue. In the recent modification in the BOT document, what we did is every 5th year, we'll compare the target traffic with the actual traffic and compensate the concessionaire so as to minimize.